All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this Boudoir photography biz. We're actually going to check out, see if it's local and city, combined local city search here. Has BSS, yes or no? And back here in the GBC universe, we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, F6 is our North Star, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned video, home video, wherever. It's because F6 explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our full spectrum intent capture here in white. Got our highest intent peeps over on the left. There's people using social search, Google search, looking for a boudoir photo shoot in their city today. Over on the right, we got the lowest intent people, and we deal with those with our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS, and we're currently only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. But here, these videos talk about BSS. And BSS is boudoir search sameness. That means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. Both are terrible. If we got 0 slots page 1 on Google, that means we're page 2 or deeper. And we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2, which means 80% of people, they're page 1 only searches, which means page 1 is the only place that matters. Page 2 and deeper, we're basically dead. 1 slot. If we got 1 slot on page 1 Google, that ain't enough. And that ain't enough because everyone else has got 1 slot as well. Some people may have 2. And so we're going to be, price shop to death. Buyers just going to go down, hit each link, open up their website, contact them, price shop, negotiate, price shop. And, just the killer for every boudoir photography business. Now, 0-1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. It's extremely common. Everyone accepts it as normal, but it's not. There's 2 deeper root causes: market saturation, which basically everyone knows about, and then the false belief of page 1 equality. Market saturation, yeah, people get a new iPhone, get a new camera, get new gear. They throw up their Google Maps profile, saying they shoot boudoir. They throw up their website, saying they shoot boudoir, compete on page 1 for the high intent keywords with us, and they also they also come in, through like COVID. That was like big market saturation. People lost their jobs, but everyone has a smartphone with awesome cameras. So a ton of new boudoir photographers came through, and that's more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every seller to win, every individual seller to win. Now the false belief of page 1 equality. This is an interesting one because from what I've discovered seems like nearly all boudoir photographers kind of accept that, I don't know, each boudoir photographer should either get 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google, and however the dice falls, that's simply what it is. If they have 1 slot page 1, then someone new came in, ranked their website higher, they got, and it pushed them off to page 2, and it's like, okay, well, that's simply how it is, and that's how it is. But in fact, we've discovered that Google will actually give as many page 1 slots as someone wants to put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google to 9 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google page 1 in only 10 days using this new strategy that we developed, that you'll see in 2 pictures here. Now, boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So if we're on page, we got 0 slots on page 1, we're on page 2 or deeper, and we're missing, approximately 80% of searches never even seeing us. Yeah, we're definitely disappearing boudoir photographer. If we got 1 slot on page 1, we're still invisible. We're disappearing boudoir photographer. And this is kind of the first sign, the canary in the coal mine, the blinking warning light telling us that, basically telling us that our boudoir photography business is on the path to disappearing once this happens. So this is our micro universe here. Disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the 2 horns of market saturation and page 1 equality. There's a false belief of page 1 equality. But thankfully, finally, we have a solution. We know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, S-cubed methodology. And the way it works is right in the name, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent buyer, boudoir buyer keywords to show up there. And when we do show up there, we're dominating social search. That's kind of like the backside of the Andes Mountains down in South America, where the snow's melting. It's flowing into small, small streams, small rivers, and eventually at the end it flows into the Amazon River. That Amazon River is page one of Google, but we first got to get the snow and the small rivers, small streams first. The inputs, that's saturating social search. And what's awesome about SQ methodology is it's the only thing that I've seen for boudoir photographers that can allow a boudoir photography business to continue to grow in the face of market saturation in a reasonable time, successfully compete against market saturation. The only other thing that I've seen that can do it obviously is a brand, massive well-known brand, but dude, that takes 5 to 10 years to actually acquire. We ain't got 5 to 10 years anymore, dude. We got AI coming, taking people's jobs, gonna force more people to be, into the photography market as photographers. We don't have time to rely 5 to 10 years to create a brand anymore. But now, an example of how SQ methodology, still can allow boudoir photography business to grow in the face of massive market saturation. Let's say got 1 million boudoir photographers in Topeka, Kansas, and we're one of them. Everyone's got their website saying they do boudoir, and as a result, we are actually now competing against, we got 999,999 other competitors. And so competition is super fierce on page one of Google. So we crank up SQ methodology to the max. And let's say dude, we're able to get the first 300 slots for like all the highest intent keywords across all social media search platforms. And let's say as a result, that flows onto Google, and let's say we got the first 300 slots on Google as well. And there's 10 slots per organic slots per page on Google, so we're taking up the first 30 pages. A buyer literally basically needs to go to page 31 to essentially find any of our competitors. Same if they search anywhere in social media as well. We're taking up all those first 300 slots. So whose business is growing in this case? Ours. Why? Because we're basically the only ones seen anywhere. We're seen. Everywhere someone searches, we're there taking up all the slots. And so, even though there's massive market saturation, we're still the business that's growing, and everyone else is disappearing, slowing down, shrinking, going away. So that's the magic of SQ methodology. Next, once treated with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. And so, we got the first initial benefit, which is more page one slots. The second initial benefit is every new slot we take on page one, we actually are kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. Because now we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two. So we're making them invisible to, 4 out of every 5 people, approximately 80% of the market, the bulk of the market. And we're getting like double, triple, quadruple the exposure. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So this is where the GBC recommended minimum of 3 slots comes in, because basically everyone else is going to have 1 slot. Our 3 slots going to dominate them. And there's also going to be a small chance someone could have 2 slots, but we're going to dominate them as well because we got 3. And that's what BSV means. And boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. So it's our micro universe. We got a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It's caused by the dual horns of market saturation and, most importantly, the false belief of page one inequality, which we now know is false, which we'll see my results with it, proving it false in the next picture. Finally, thankfully, thank the universe, we finally got the solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility, we become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. All right, dude, so now my results using S-cube methodology for myself. So I want to rank for the, you can see right here, the words BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate page one Google for these words. So I purely used my S-cubed methodology. Come down here to the organic slots here. So I start with 0 slots on page one. And here we go. First organic slot, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page one in Google to 9 out of 10 slots page one on Google in only 10 days, exclusively utilizing S-cubed methodology. Now, main event here, we're going to check out this boudoir photography business, going to check out their local and city search. Looks like we got them combined here. Their local and city search, and see if they got BSS, yes or no. So we're going to Kalamazoo, Michigan. All right, so we're over here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Let's see what we got. Kalamazoo. All right, boom, we got one. All right, we got two. All right, so we got, all right, so for local/city search combined, we got 2 out of 10 page one slots on Google, so do not have BSS, but we are not meeting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search. And so these are the results that we see. Now, if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, where you've done the you've done your own local search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords and your city search, and either you got BSS for one or both of those searches, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 for one or both of those searches, and you're seeing that the false belief of page one quality is exactly that, a false belief. You've accepted that, and you're seeing S-cube methodology is the only way forward, the only solution, and you've literally been waiting for something like this, and you're understanding the market saturation, people's getting new gear, and you're loving the initial benefits, more page one slots on Google, and even as a bonus, kicking out competitors in the same city from Google. And with the market saturation, you're seeing AI is going to be taking more people's jobs. So number of boudoir photographers in the market's only going to ever increase more and more into the future as AI takes more and more people's jobs. And so you're saying, okay, we got to fortify our search page one status on Google, and we actually need like backup links to our page one links that could still be ranking for page one because we got so much, we saturated the market so much, right? At least those specific high intent buyer keywords so much. Kind of like fortifying the levees in Nolens, Louisiana for the ocean. And you say, oh, S-cube methodology is exactly perfect for that. So hey, that's another kind of bonus to doing it. And you want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer and achieve boudoir search visibility because you need these things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also understand the future benefits of successfully executing everything from S-cube methodologies starting from today, which is, we're basically building up invisible thematic keyword columns plugged in or attached to our brand, our website, our business name, our brand name. That is what every day we increase those invisible thematic keyword columns, we're actually building AI search mindshare. So every day we successfully execute S-cube methodology, we're actually increasing the probability we are featured and continue to be featured in this AI overview at the top of Google search, the most premium placement, and we don't even have to pay any ads to get it. And this is, has momentum, where we can achieve momentum, but we do got to continue building momentum, growing momentum through successful execution of S-cube methodology. And we also know that as we continue to execute S-cube methodology correctly, increase the probability of back-end AI search recommendations as well. So things like ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, increasing the chance AI search recommends us more and more every single day of successful S-cube methodology execution. And I know last time I looked for boudoir photographers in the city, it was with ChatGPT, and dude, it gave me 3. But when I went to actually like manual Google search in that city, I was able to find like 60. So manually searching. So we gotta get these AI search slots because yeah, right now Google's approximately 90% of global search. But dude, every single day, AI search is increasing every single day. And the best strategy, number one strategy I've seen for boudoir photographers to be recommended through it is S-cube methodology. And also, you're an early adopter. You're seeing that since my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city, you're seeing that you can actually prevent your competitors from ever using this strat and actually build up a massive gap of AI mindshare momentum with utilizing S-cube methodology to, again, create these invisible thematic keyword columns, attach them to your brand, build up the AI mindshare. And conversely, if one of your competitors was to go with me, you see that you would actually have to go rederive S-cube methodology for yourself, re-execute it for yourself, and you'd actually have to equal me and your competitor's execution every day. And that would simply maintain the gap that me and your competitor would have already built up ahead of you. So you'd actually have to double or triple our output every single day of S-cube methodology to begin pulling that AI mindshare, those invisible thematic keyword columns away from your competitor and my brand back to yours. And you would not be 100% confident you've even derived S-cube methodology correctly in the first place to even put that massive amount of effort into executing it. So you see no that and you're like, screw that, because you realize nobody's got 80 hours in a day to do all that stuff. So you decide you're simply going to be the first mover in your city to actually be using S-cube methodology, prevent your competitors from using it. And so if that's you, shoot me a DM when my DM's actually open. Yeah, hospital is currently closed for new patients. And if we, when I open the hospital for new patient intake, I'll put it here somewhere in the videos, and shoot us a DM then, and then we'll see if you qualify for using our S-cubed methodology.